What's up everyone, I'm Not Gushy. In the coming weeks I will be announcing the next Rivals tournament happening on this channel. And in this video, I'll be presenting the rule sets that the Rivals community helped me create that addresses some of the issues that happened in the previous tournaments. And also a unique team composition rule set that will definitely spice things up between spectators and participants alike. I want to give a huge shout out to Vlad the boy for being the mastermind behind the team composition rule. He went as far as creating an entire Google Doc that explains in great detail all the rules that we're going to lay out in this video. And without further ado, let's get into the rule sets. So at the beginning of every match that participants are going to play, players on both teams are required to share their screens. For PlayStation console competitors, only one person from each team is required to share their screen. However, if you're playing from the PC port version of the game, you are required to share your screen regardless. Let's say in this scenario you have two PC players on one team. Both PC players are required to share their screens. This is due in part to the access of cheat tables. PC port players have the accessibility to play with infinite resolve, infinite health, and infinite resources. If at any point a PC player uses a cheat table, their team would be immediately disqualified from the tournament. Aside from that, let's get back into showing how to share your screens. For PlayStation 4 users to share your screen, first hop into a party with your teammate invited, and also be sure to invite one of the tournament moderators, and then within the party start a share play session with the tournament moderator. For PlayStation 5 competitors, it's pretty much the same thing. Start a party, invite your teammate and the tournament moderator, but instead of starting a share play session, you just simply start sharing your screen. I highly recommend turning off the viewer interaction setting, so that way when you're in the middle of a match, no one can distract you. For PC players to share their screen with tournament moderators, you can either share it through a Discord call, you can stream your gameplay on YouTube or Twitch through OBS or Streamlabs, and then share the link to the tournament moderator and we can watch your screen from there. If your team does not comply with any of the share screen rules, your team ultimately forfeits the tournament and will be disqualified. The tournament structure will pretty much play out the same like every other tournament. We'll be playing best 2 out of 3 matches up until the finals matches, where each of the final matches will be best 3 out of 5. The only difference is that we'll be implementing Vlad's team composition rule set. There are 10 possible team compositions that each team can choose from. Once a composition is selected, the composition cannot be repeated throughout the remainder of the set. In this example, Koof is playing as a samurai and Vlad is playing as a hunter for game 1. When game 1 finishes and we go into game 2, Koof and Vlad would need to select a different composition that isn't samurai hunter. Koof could remain as the samurai class, but Vlad would need to switch from playing as the hunter. The same is true for Vlad. Vlad could stay as the hunter, but that would mean Koof would need to switch out the samurai class. Reversing the roles would count as a composition repeat. And as stated earlier, team composition repeats are not allowed for the remainder of the set. Also keep in mind that mirror matches are allowed in the tournament. It's okay if both opposing teams are playing the same exact team composition at the same time. Same rules apply even for the losing team as well. They cannot repeat any team compositions. And going into game 2, Koof plays Assassin, Vlad plays Ronin, making this a valid team composition selection since it wasn't used for game 1. Koof and Vlad win the set on game 2. Now that the set is over and they advance to their next match, Koof and Vlad regain access to the team compositions of Samurai and Hunter and Assassin Ronin. When it comes to selecting the map, either both teams can agree upon which stage to play on, or we can roll a 4-sided dice to determine where the first map will be played. If both teams can't come to an agreement on which side they'll start on for game 1, the moderator will choose a team at random. Then we'll flip a coin, and whoever calls it right gets to pick whichever side they want to start on. After game 1 is finished, the losing team can counterpick a stage that they feel more favorable to win on. Both teams would then switch their team compositions and then hop into game 2. If the team that counterpicked the stage loses again, then they unfortunately lose the set. But if they win game 2, then we go into a game 3 situation, and the team that lost game 2, they get to counterpick the stage. The same map counterpicking rules apply to the 3 out of 5 sets. The only difference is that you cannot counterpick a stage that your team has already won on. Once a set is finished, all team compositions and stage counterpicks will be reset when going into your next match. Hopefully this gives you an idea of how a set will be played from start to finish. Now, there are certain things that happen in a match that warrants a reset. When defeating an enemy, sometimes Magatama will fail to drop. There are times your character can get stuck at a buy station or by picking up ammo due to poor internet connections. There's also a unique Magatama glitch that occurs when you repeatedly gain Magatama over and over like this. If your character dies instantly from a swing, any of these occurrences warrants a restart. Due to the high volume of resets that happened in our previous tournaments, we've decided to only allow one reset per team in the best 2 out of 3 sets, and when we reach the best 3 out of 5 matches, we're only allowing 2 resets per team. The only glitches that are not limited to the reset counter are the Magatama gaining glitch, the getting stuck glitch, and the insta-grapple death glitch. Now, in order to call for the reset, you would need to make your character spam the word help. This would tell the host of the game to bring the party back into the lobby. As much as we do want to be fair for every single game that is played, we also want to be fair to everyone's time and not have a whole hour of resets happening. To avoid any network or connection issues, I highly recommend connecting your PlayStation console or your PC to your internet router with a wired Ethernet connection. The last rule set that I'll be talking about is the Callout 1 versus 1 rule. This is an optional counterpick that the losing team can use when only going into the final game of a set. If the 1v1 challenge is accepted, each team selects their own representative, then both representatives on opposing teams would then ban stages until there's one left. The team receiving the 1v1 challenge, they get the first pick on banning the stage, and they also get to pick which side they're playing on. Since there is no team composition in a 1v1, both representatives are not restricted from any class selection. Let's say, for example, Sketch played the assassin class for 4 games straight. If the 1v1 challenge wasn't proposed, and we play a 2v2 match, going into Game 5, Sketch is no longer allowed to play the assassin, since all team compositions for the assassin has been used up. But because they're playing a 1v1, Sketch is allowed to remain as an assassin. The Oni chest glitch will not be allowed when going into the 1v1. If you're unsure of how that glitch works, basically if an enemy throws a kunai hitting the Oni chest, something in the game's code allows the chest to be opened when the kunai hits the chest, and as difficult as it is to pull this glitch off, this will not be allowed in the tournament. If the challenge is declined by the winning team, a 2v2 match will be played for the final game, but they have to choose one of these 2 poison pills to swallow. For the first pill, the losing team can ban a team composition that the winning team hasn't selected yet, and for the second pill, the winning team must unban a stage that the losing team already won on. Again, the 1v1 callout is optional. It's not a mandatory counterpick that happens throughout a set. And that pretty much wraps up all the rule sets that I wanted to cover for today's video. There are some details in the doc that I didn't get to go over, but please feel free to find the link in the description or in the comment section to read the rule sets if you wanted to go more in depth. If you have any concerns, questions, or feedback, please let me know in the comment section below of this video. If you're still confused on how some of the rule sets work, I do have some sample videos uploaded onto my side channel showing how a set will go from start to finish. Be on the lookout for the announcement of the next tournament on the community tab of my channel. Thank you all for watching, and God bless.